Yo, my people, how's it going? Now, as of recording this, the 10th of February, I believe set 5 on the digital client comes out in 2 days. And so over the past couple of days, I've been attempting to brew up some decks for the new leaders for set 5. So we're going to quickly go through all the new leaders. Now, bear in mind, none of these leaders have been tested. I'm practically just using my own card knowledge to make these decks and what I think will work in the meta. It's very possible a lot of these lists may change. If you guys have any ideas for additions to the deck that you think would be better off, you're more than free to let me know in the comments. All the decks I want to show you are 50 card decks. You won't see it on here, but all the decks will only be 50 card decks. So starting off with black and our Gogeta lead, we'll start off with our cantrip Goku. And we have Kakarot here, which will need early game to get an energy marker early. We still have the common line like we used to do with the GT Goku leader. Kakarot into potentially Super Saiyan 3 Goku down here into our Super Saiyan 4 Goku. We can also go Kakarot into Trunks into Goku, whichever. We're also running Power Brothers and Hercule GT. Power Brothers is still going to be an amazing card in set 5. It's made even better with the Gogeta leader because it's so easy to generate energy markers with Gogeta. So you could either, if you have 2 Power Brothers, you can play one, activate your energy marker with your leader ability, get energy marker back, play a second one, or if you have an energy marker, play one, get an energy marker with your leader, then play Hercule, and as long as you have an energy marker, when you play him, you can get back a 1-drop, get back the Power Brothers from your drop, and then use that energy marker that you just replaced to play Power again and lock another card. It's something that is a line that you can think about. Mention Trunks. We also have 2 different Vegeta cards. Now this one is a promo card. I'm going to try this out. It effectively on play, if you have an energy marker, you can bounce a card that's 4 cost or less. You have 2 of this one. And it was between this card, Pan, and the Brainwashed Goten from set 4. Now, I didn't really like the idea of Brainwashed Goten. I've seen the other lists that have it. I just didn't like the idea of spending 2 energy on a card and then just comboing it straight away without having to attack. Obviously, if you're playing it in Baby, it's great, you can do that. But in decks outside of Baby, it just seems like although you can bounce a full drop, you've kind of wasted 2 energy and not done anything, right? You've just made 1 attack that you already have on the board and a little bit stronger. With Vegeta, you can do the same thing. It's 1 energy more. You can remove that threat, and you have a 20k swing on top of it. And there's a 10k combo as well, which is great for defense. So we're going to try this one out. We've got 2 of, also we've got 2 of this Vegeta. Now, some of these numbers may change, right? Numbers may change around, we'll have to see. But this one effectively removes 3 cost or less and KOs it rather than bouncing it. You just have to have an energy marker again. We're running Bardock, 3 of. We mentioned this Goku, 4 of our Secret Rare Goku. And we've got 4 of the new Super Saiyan 3 Goku, the 5 cost. On play, it draws 2 if you use the energy marker to play it. And when you activate his main ability, you discard 1 card, switch to active mode so you can swing again. So it's a 30k, has 2 swings, draws 2 cards. Obviously you will get rid of 1, but at least you get to choose. You can just pick a dead card in your hand to discard. I think the deck is decent. We're running 4 of, it has super combo, which is great. It will be useful to have in this list. We're also running Bardock. We have 2 in this particular deck. Now it's between Bardock and the new Soul Punisher extra card, which if you don't know is 4 energy. I might put an image on the side here or something. 4 energy, you can either KO a card, any card you want, or if you use the energy marker for it, you can KO 2 cards. Even though it's 1 energy less and can get rid of 2 threats. Obviously we're still testing, but I feel like having a removal with a body attached to it, right? Yes, you have to get rid of 2 cards, which I've never really liked about this Bardock. But you do have a body that you can swing with afterwards, which is good. It's good to have the body there. We're only running 2 of the, and it's mainly for the late game in case Goku can't finish it himself. I think you'll use Bardock if your opponent's at 2 energy. You'll use Goku if they're at 1. That's kind of the idea with those. Super combo, Bulla, and we have Fusion Resurrection. 1 energy. This is your searcher. It searches any Saiyan. Looks top 5 cards of your deck. Searches for any card with Saiyan and the special traits. 99, well 97%, I don't know the exact number. Most of your deck is Saiyans. The only Saiyans that aren't in your deck is Hercule and the Power Brothers. Everything else is a Saiyan. Your super combo, your extra cards, everything else is a Saiyan. So it's very difficult to whiff with Fusion and Resurrection. You almost will never whiff. You'll always have something you can add to your hand. And then we're running 2 of 10 times Kamehameha. Still a great card, made even better because of the fact that you can generate energy markers with your leader. Maybe this goes up to 3 and I bring another card down 1, just because of how much more useful this card will be in this particular deck. So yeah, that is our Gogeta list. Let me know what you guys think, what you may change, all that good stuff. We have Goku, or Namek, as I'm now going to call him. Now this deck is all about aggressively self-awakening and then just smacking your opponent with your secret rare. If you don't know what the secret rare does, it's a double strike, and if you're at 2 life or less, this card's cost is reduced by 4, so it becomes a 3 energy card. And we're going to hopefully activate that effect and pair it with Destructive Disc, which on your turn gives the card 20k power, and if your health is 2 or less, it gives it critical. So effectively, you're going to hit your opponent with a 65k critical. That's the idea. To help with this, we have cards like Chiaotzu. If your life is at 2 or less, well, this doesn't help with the condition, but if your life is at 2 or less, choose up to 1 battle card with a cost of 5 or less in your opponent's battle area, and they can't attack for the turn. This is similar to Power Brothers for black. It's a 10k combo. It's just 1 energy, lock a card 5 cost or less, which honestly, the big ramp green decks probably won't be played as much. The highest cost card you're probably going to see is the Secret Rare Vegito, the 6 energy card. But outside of that, anything else you'll pretty much be able to lock down for a turn. We're running Muri, not because it's a blocker, but purely because he self-awakens. He's a 1 energy self-awaken. The last card we had that did that was Roshi, and then he got banned because obviously it made Top Q disgustingly strong because he could do it every turn with just the 1 card. At least this one is an on-play effect, and it's not an activate effect. But yeah, it self-awakens, so you can self-awaken on turn 1 if you have Muri in your hand. And it's a 10k, so once you draw it late game, it's fine to have. Okay, next we have Bulma. Bulma is your searcher for any Planet Namek card. The top 3 cards reveal up to 1 with Planet Namek added to your hand. There's no cost restriction on this, so this can get you your secret rare, which you're gonna need. Yeah, Secret Rare Goku is a Planet Namek card. We're running Cell Jr. 3 of. This is purely to recycle mainly the Destructive Disc card, so you can keep repeating the combo with your Secret Rare Goku. So yeah, running 3 Cell Juniors, we're running 3 of Hercule. Again, some of these numbers may change. Once you're at 6 energy, you can take any 2 Earthlings in your drop, add it to your hand, that costs 1 or less. That would be your Chiaotzu, and that will be your Bulma. We're not running cantrips in this deck, but I might change that later. I did think about adding the 1-drop Bulma that draws 1, but I didn't have. I'm going to keep it to 50 cards. I didn't know where I would make the space for it. If you're going to run a card like Bulma, you're probably going to want at least 2 minimum, if not more. We're running Vegeta here, another Planet Namek card. 2 energy on play. If your life is at 2 or less, you draw 1. You're going to want to be able to draw cards in the late game, because if you're not aware, your leader discards 1 card from your hand if your life is at 2 or less at the end of your turn. You also have to have 7 or less energy, right? Every time you want to gain a life, you have to discard a card. So being able to draw once you have awakened and you're at that 2 life threshold is important. That's why a card like Vegeta is going to be so good. We have Krillin here. Krillin's just a self-awakener. When KO'd, add 1 life from your hand to your energy in rest mode. It says add up to, so you don't have to do it, which I do like. The KO effect is not really why you play this card. It's mainly for the play effect, just to be able to self-awaken. And it's a Planet Namek card, so it is searchable with Bulma. That's purely it. We're running this promo card, this Goku, 3 energy. When attacking, once per turn, if your life is at 3 or more, add 1 card to your life to your hand. So during the late game, let's say you have 7 energy, you're at 3 life, but you want to awaken to 2. This card is a great way to do that. You play it, you attack, you awaken, you get down to 2 life, and then activate main. If your leader's on Goku, you switch this card to activate so you can attack again. So yeah, this is just good to get you down to your 2 life threshold to activate your other combos, such as the Secret Rare. We have a SR Gohan here. We're playing a full set of. This card is great. So yeah, you get to choose 1 of 2 effects. If your life is 2 or less, choose one battle card in your opponent's battle area and KO it. No restriction to this, which is great. And the next effect is self-awaken, then choose a card 3 or less and KO it. So if you're not already awakened, this is a great way to self-awaken. And then once you do, if you have 2 life and you play this, you get to KO anything just on play, just KO anything, which is really good. It's a shame that the condition is 2 or less. I know it's meant for Goku, but it would be nice if that restriction wasn't there, so you can play this with Vegeta, potentially. I know Vegeta kind of only works with Saiyan only cards, but yeah, it still would be good in Vegeta. Then we have the secret rare I've explained. We have our super combo, which is Chi-Chi. Any super combo will do. Unfortunately, we do not have a Planet Namek super combo as far as I'm aware. Once we do, this deck automatically replaces that card with whatever that super combo would be, just so that it's searchable with Bulma here. We're running Dr. Brief Spaceship. If your leader's Son Goku and your life's at 2 or less, draw 2, sorry. This is just great for cycling through your deck, refilling your hand. Like I said, your leader's going to be discarding cards a lot, so you want to keep your hand replenished. We're running 3 of this card. This might be for later, I'm not too sure. Destructive Disc has been mentioned, and then finally, training that 100 Gs. You draw 1, self-awaken, play a 3-drop. Right, so you could play this Goku off of it, you can play Gohan off of it, you could play your secret rare off of it. So yeah, good options all around. All 3 of them are good. So yeah, that's the green one. I do believe that if you want to play this deck, you will need 4 of the secret rare. Maybe you can play it with 2. I will say you want 3 or 4, right? Ideally you want 4, because this is your boss card. This is the card that wins you the game, so you want as many as possible. So ideally you want 4. 3 is okay. If you only have 1 of this, I wouldn't suggest playing this deck at all. But yeah, that's our Goku deck. Next we have Daima Goku version 2, or Super Saiyan Daima Goku. Now this deck is more tailored towards the Daima cards. Start off with our cantrip, which is a Goten mini. We have Neva, or Neva, I'm not sure how to pronounce it really, which is a searcher for Daima cards. As long as the card isn't Neva, you can search any, yeah, I think that's how you say it. You can search any Daima card that costs 4 or less. That includes your cantrip, it includes this Pansy, which kind of acts like Margarita for Jiren. It's a slightly weaker version of Margarita, but it works just the same. That's searchable. With Neva, you have this 2-drop Pansy, which is a great card. Self-awakens, and if you have a Daima leader, when this card is KO'd, you draw 2. Early game, this is good. Your opponent has to use some sort of removal outside of KO to get rid of it. We'll go through the other Daima cards. We have this Goku here. This was from the starter pack last set, and it's still good, I think, for this. It self-awakens by force, so once you hit 4 life, you don't want to play this anymore, because it will, when you play it, you have to self-awaken. You don't get a choice. Fortunately, this is a 10k, so even if it's in your hand, it's still really good. And if it's on the board and you do awaken your leader, this becomes a 30k, which is great. We have Glorio, the best card from Red in this set. Can minus your leader down 5k, and if you have a Daima leader, this swings twice. And then with your leader ability, which buffs Daima cards by 10k, you make this a 35k to swing into a 15k leader twice. Yeah, pretty nuts. The other Daima card we have is Bulma. Now Bulma isn't searchable with Neva, but we do have Warp Summer, which we're running 2 of, which look top 5 cards, reveal up to 1 Daima in its card name and add it to your hand. Now this has no restriction, so it means that this can search for your super combo. We're only running 2 because not having a body on it is kind of hit or miss, although it does have a secondary effect on your opponent's turn. Give a card 15k for the battle for 1 energy, which is really good. So yeah, running 2 of, not too many. I think 2 is fine. We still have Neva to get most of the cards we need. The other 2 drops we're playing, Caulifla, I still really like this card. A self-awakener that crits. It's so annoying to deal with. Similar to how Pansy's going to be annoying, I think Kefla's Caulifla. I said Kefla the first time, or Caulifla. Regardless, Caulifla is a much more annoying card to deal with. Your opponent will use cards because they don't want to get crit. Fua, help with a bit of control. On play, minus a card 15k. Still a great card, there's a 10k in your hand, so yeah, one of the better cards I would think. This card may change, but for now, this is the one I'm going to try. Gohan, still one of the best red cards in any red deck. You will play Gohan. Gohan is just that good of a card. Minus 15k on attack. Once you're awakened, it becomes a 25k that can swing over it if it wants to. Yeah, just great card. Running Ramshi, 3 of, gets rid of any big bodies, 30k or less, and KOs it. And then we have 2 copies of our double striker, and we're running 2 copies of UI Goku, both for the late game. Yeah, also new adventure, running 2 of, gives a card 50k power for 0 energy. This is great for ending games with Glorio specifically, because the card needs to be a Daima card. So if you're able to end the game with Glorio, maybe not even end the game, just create additional pressure, you can do that with Glorio. Or with Goku Mini, either one, but mostly you'll use it with Glorio. So yeah, that's it for red. We're going to move on to the next one, which is Janemaba. Now, the way I built this deck is more of an aggro style. Anyone that played during set 1 will remember this really fast-paced Frieza deck that used the Ginyu Force, or somewhat of the Ginyu Force, to help generate a really wide board and just create a lot of pressure early. Janemaba is doing the same thing on steroids. It's basically how I can explain it. So ideally, let's go through the cards first of all. We've got Bulma here, helps draw, helps you self-awaken as well, because you want to self-awaken so that when you attack, you get to gain 2 energy back. Whoops, missed one. We have Sorbet, Cantrip. We've got the 1-cost Frieza, which have rest mode cards that you may want to get rid of. We've got the new Jace from set 5, which is a critical self-awakener. This is the Caulifla of this deck, which is great. I don't have to explain why that card is good. We have another self-awakener in Frieza, second form Frieza, and it also rest modes battle cards for us. Around the SR Ginyu is back again. If you guys may be new to the game and don't know what this card does, effectively on play, as long as you have 3 cards with Frieza's army in its traits, you can switch 2 of your energy to active, which allows you to play a card like Jace, right? It has to be Frieza's army. So Sorbet is included, this first form Frieza is included, second form Frieza is included, obviously the Jace, the other Ginyu Force as well. All of these are included in that. We've got Raccoon as well, Self-Awakener, and then you get to play 1 battle card with a cost of 2 or less. So ideally, if you have at least 1 Frieza's army, let's say for example you play Sorbet, and on turn 3 you play Raccoon. Raccoon's ability will bring out Ginyu, and now because of Sorbet, you now have 3 Frieza's army units on the board, because the effect does include itself, which will give you 2 energy back, which lets you play Jace, and God forbid you're actually awakened, you attack with your leader, gain another 2 energy, gets to play another Jace, right? Something like that. It's just ridiculous how wide of a board you can create with this deck. So we also have the 3-cost Janemaba here. Such a good card. This effectively becomes a free card if your leader hasn't attacked already, right? You spend 3 energy on this on the turn you play it. It self-awakens, turns 1 energy to active, your leader attacks, makes 2 energy active, and you've effectively played a 3-cost for free. That's basically what this card does. For 20, and it has 25k power and has combo power. It's just, yeah, this card is great. We're running Goku, running 4 of. Still a great card for yellow for locking down during the late game. Just in case your early combo doesn't work, this is just great for holding out until you find these 2 big boys. We'll start with Broly first, or Bio Broly. It draws 1 on play, switches 2 of your cards to active mode. Again, this allows you to play Jace, create more pressure. And then we're playing Frieza. Frieza is disgusting. Barrier, so killing this thing is going to be so annoying. And when attacking for 2 energy, rest mode 1 battle card, cost of 5 or less. And when attacking for 2 energy, choose a rest mode battle card, 5 or less, and place it in your opponent's drop. Not KO it, place it, which is a new wording for any card. This is the first time I've seen this wording for this. So yeah, it's a great card overall. So yeah, that's the list. Obviously, I forgot to add Final Explosion, which I may reduce this a bit. Also running a super combo. It doesn't really matter what super combo you run. But yeah, I might reduce this and change some other numbers around. Like I said, none of these decks are really final. So yeah, that is our Janemaba list. And then finally, we have Vegito. Now, honestly, out of all the decks, Vegito is probably the one that I'm more excited to play the most. Mill was not always like the best strategy to play, but I enjoy mill decks. I don't know. It's a hit or miss, right? Because you're obviously milling cards you may not want to. You get rid of cards that you would rather have in your hands. It's always a risk you take. But normally it should be worth it because once you hit certain conditions, your end game is supposed to be unbeatable, basically. But regardless, this is our Vegito deck. Now, we'll start off 4 copies of Pan. Now, immediately some people may be thinking, why am I not running the 1-drop Kibito? Now, if you don't know what that card does, effectively on play, the Kibito will mill 3. That's basically what that Kibito does. And originally when I made this list, that was the card I was going to use. But then I saw Pan and I thought to myself that I feel Pan is a better card. I mean, okay, you only need to mill 10. Your leader, when you awaken, will mill another 10, which will give you your 20 that you will need. So ideally, you only need 10, maybe 11 cards that you need to mill before your leader awakens. And if the difference between this card and Kibito, I can't remember if Kibito's a 10k or not, I'm not sure when it comes to the combo power, but I'm milling 1 less, or I'm adding 1 less card to my drop, but I get to draw 2 cards. Meaning that I can draw the 2 and then pick 2 cards that I don't really need for whatever matchup I'm playing. I can put those in my drop instead. So yeah, the only difference is that you have 1 less card in your drop, but at least you get to choose which cards go to your drop, rather than just milling 3 with the potential of milling something that you actually need. So that's why I'm not running Kibito in this deck. Now the good thing about Vegito is that it doesn't really care about the whole 7-hand rule that most blue decks have to follow. So we have aggressive self-awaken and self-awaken early. This Goku is one of them. This self-awakens and then mills 3. We also have this Vegeta. When attacking, add 1 card from your life to your hand and then mill 3, similar to Goku. We have this Goku, which mills, it adds 1, it self-awakens. It mills 5, and if you have 20 more cards in your drop, you can make any 3 extra cards cost 0. Now the extra cards we have in question are Galactic Donut, draws 2, choose 1 of your opponent's cards to can't attack. If you can play this for 0 and just draw 2, this is great. Sinister Sickle is great if you need that kind of hard removal, 4 cost or less. Bottom deck's 2 cards. And then obviously we have this for the late game. We have Sia running 2 of. This is purely for your late game to make Goku a double striker to hopefully end the game. So yeah, running 2 Galactic Donut, 2 Sias, and 3 Sinister Sickles. And then we have Savior of the World, which is just a 0 energy plus 15k, similar to New Adventure. The only difference is this needs to have 20 or more cards in the drop. So again, another late game card. So yeah, those are our self-awakeners. Now, we have Vegeta. Vegeta helps you add Goku. It helps you add an extra card. It just has to be a blue card, 3 or less, from your drop to your hand. Oh no, sorry. It has to be specifically 3. It can't be 3 or less. It has to be exactly 3. So that'll be Goku. That'll be this Goku we have 2 of, which is just extra combo power. And then any of these extra cards. That costs 3. Now, something we also have is Fortune Teller Baba. Now, originally I had Candy Vegito in this card's position. Candy Vegito effectively allows you to recycle both Vegeta, the 2-cost Vegeta, this one, and the Goku, mainly is what you'll use it for, from the drop back to your hand. Baba's effect: activate main, place this card in your drop. If you have 10 or more cards in your drop, play 1 Vegeta with a cost of 2 from your drop. So Candy Vegito would add Vegeta to your hand. Baba just allows you to play it. So you play Baba for 2. When you do, you send him to the drop, you bring out Vegeta. Vegeta will add Goku to your hand from your drop if you want to. And then when you switch this card to arrest mode, with 20 or more cards in your drop, your Son Goku will cost 3, adds 30k. So you play this, you get Goku, you play the Goku, switch this to arrest mode, activate the effect, make Goku a 55k. Goku makes an extra card that costs 3 or less equals 0. So if you have CU and you add CU to this, which gives double strike, is it just double strike or power as well? Just double strike. Now you have a 55k double striker, which you can add combo power to from your hand. You can add Savior of the World for even more power. So yeah, the combo could be a great finisher for the late game. We've got vanilla Goku here, just extra combo power. It works off Vegeta as well if you need a Goku. We have four copies of this Vegito from set 4. This card, if you have 6 energy, is ideally the only way you use this card. You send this to your drop. If you have 10 or more cards in your drop, play a Vegito with a cost of 6 or more from your hand. Oh, sorry, from your drop. So if you're in a situation where you've been milling cards and unfortunately you mill all your secret rares, which is we run in 2 of the 5 drop and 2 of the 6 drop secret rare. If for whatever reason all of them ended up in your drop, this is the way you get them back from your drop and actually able to play them. Most times you'll probably pick the 6 cost, but depending on the situation, you may want to just go for the 5 cost. They both do similar things. The 5 cost bounces off 5 drop or less, can swing twice. Obviously, bear in mind you do need to have 7 or fewer cards in your hand if you want to play this one. That's the only one I think that has that rule. And then we have the 6 drop, which has no restriction on what it can bounce. It does mill 5, and again it can swing twice. So there's that. We have the 4 cost SR Vegito. We're running 3 of. On play, it will bounce a 4 drop or less to the hand. And when attacking, if you have 20 or more cards in your drop, your opponent can't attack using battle cards that cost 3 or less. I don't know how the meta will shape up to be. If Janemaba is as strong as I think it's going to be, this card will be useful. Especially if it's the aggro version, that similar to the list I made. I think that this card will be needed to kind of halt that for a few turns, right? So yeah, there's that. Running 3 of, this could be 4 really. I would put this to 4 if Janemaba becomes like the best deck in set 5. Spoke about these by our super combo. Now, something to bear in mind that yes, a lot of people's kind of issue with Vegito and mill decks in general is the chance that you mill a super combo. That's a risk you're going to have to take. That's just the risk you have to take with this one. Unfortunately, I don't think you can make this without super combos. I think super combos are just vital right now. I don't think we'll ever... Maybe in the future we'll have a meta where super combos are no longer as important as they are now. But yeah, at least you have a chance to draw one. Or if you self-awaken and it comes to your hand, you have a chance at least. But yeah, just bear that in mind. You might end up milling all your super combos. It's possible. But yeah, that is our Vegito list. I actually kind of like how I've made this one. It's probably one of the first ones I want to try. I do need one more secret rare Vegito, this 5 drop. I only have 1. Fortunately, in the new, when set 5 does come out, I believe that they're giving everyone a secret rare wildcard. Finally, everyone's going to have one after 5 sets, because ain't no way anyone got one from duplicates. It's not possible. Unless you're Bruce Wayne. So yeah, I might use that to get this Vegito. It depends how my summons go for set 5. I say summons, pack opening goes for set 5. Because I do need like 4 of the secret rare Goku. Because I want to try that list out. The Frieza's probably not as important. I'll take as many as I can get. But Goku you really want 4. So yeah. But yeah, that is it for all the decks. Let me know out of the 5 which one you want to try. And also, if you have any advice on changes you would make to any of my lists. Now, when I say changes, I'm talking about specific cards rather than reducing certain cards. For example, if someone wants to say, oh, you should make this Vegito 4 of and reduce Barber to 2, just for an example, right? I'm not so much concerned about the numbers of individual cards, but if there's cards that I haven't included that you feel like will be better fits in this deck, I'm more than happy to read those in the comments. Let me know. And yeah, let's see what kind of decks we can come up with. But yeah, regardless, I hope you guys enjoyed this. These are my early kind of deck builds for each of the leaders. And yeah, I hope you guys have an amazing rest of your day. And I will see you in hopefully a couple days for the pack opening for set 5. But yeah, take care guys. Peace.